because hemp industry workers testify against a bill that would ban intoxicating hemp products, you guys. That's right. Workers in the hemp industry spoke out against a bill that would ban intoxicating hemp products in, that's right, Ohio, effectively putting them out of business. And these are known as Delta 8 THC products that are often sold at smoke shops and corner stores and maybe even some back alleyways. But nonetheless, those who spoke out against Senate Bill 326 during last week's Senate Government Committee meeting called for regulations and not a ban on sales, arguing that it would cause the black market to flourish. In a quote, strict bans will only support illicit sales of these products with no enforceable safety or age requirements, which does nothing to address the issues legislators have cited as the need for new hemp legislation, said Jonathan Miller, general counsel for the U.S. Hemp Roundtable, you guys. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has been asking lawmakers to regulate or ban Delta 8 THC products, and State Senator Steve Huffman, Republican from Trip City, introduced SB 326 last month. 25 people submitted opponent testimony on SB 326 last week, and nearly 20 people submitted proponent testimony on the bill last month. Marijuana is legal in Ohio and is not considered an intoxicating hemp product, and the 2018 Farm Bill says hemp can be grown legally if it contains less than 0.3 THC by weight. And in a quote, Senate Bill 326 aims to make illegal an industry made up of thousands of small businesses, but in fact, it will simply strengthen the black market, said J.D. McCormick, president of the American Healthy Alternatives Association. Several Ohioans have turned to hemp as an alternative to opioid pain prescriptions, he said, and in a quote says, a 2023 economic impact report on the United States cannabinoid industry indicates that Ohio's hemp-derived cannabinoid market is responsible for, guess what, how much, you guys? $704 million, $782,000 in revenue, he said. It also estimates the hemp-derived product industry provides 8,157 jobs with $327,448,000 in wages for the employees of the industry and approximately $40,524,970 in annual sales tax receipts, he says. Mo Dayam owns 6 smoke shops across the state that sells hemp products and says SB 326 bill would jeopardize my business and my employees, he said. I assure you that the industry is in support of reasonable regulations, and we want the responsible businesses to continue to operate and ensure there are not bad actors and unsafe products in the market. The hemp industry supports banning sales to people under 21 years of age, testing products, labeling requirements, and restrictions, Dayam said. And in an additional quote, some products that have garnered media attention are packaged like known children's candy brands, he said. This should be prohibited, and the industry agrees they should be off the market. Doug Strawham owns 2 CBD stores and says Happy Harvest Delaware and Happy Harvest Marion, and he said this bill would destroy his business. In an additional quote, my family's financial stability and well-being, as well as the jobs of our employees, are all tied to this industry, he said. About 80% of their sales come from Delta products, which they only sell to customers 21 and older. And in a quote, the median age of our customers is actually around 45 years old, Stram said. Jamie Courtney owns a CBD store in Belafonte where most of their customers are over 55 years of age, and says these are responsible adults seeking relief and wellness without the intoxicating effects of marijuana, she said. Courtney shared the story of a 90-year-old customer who says taking CBD gummies has helped her stop having seizures, and in a quote says, I think this ban would hurt people more than it would actually help, she said. Lawmakers are trying to get their bills passed before the current General Assembly comes to a close at the end of the month, and meaning any bills that don't pass will die and would have to be reintroduced in the next General Assembly, which starts in January. Well. Hopefully this bill crawls underneath a rock and dies, but I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. Ohio trying to ban intoxicating hemp products too. Man, these people just need to get their acts together and quit wasting their legislative time on these bunk bills. But what do y'all have to say?
If you want to sell weed, get a license to sell weed.
Really?
Yeah, sorry. I know that your newfound interest is kind of contradictory to that.
That's
so
fine.
I understand.
I'm all good with it. I'm here for the disgruntledness.
You, along with a lot of other of us, Jason, have paid a lot of fucking money in licensing fees, a lot of money in fucking application fees, have paid a very high barrier to entry. And it wasn't so we could just get circumvented by people who are like, oh, look what I found in my mother liquor. Let me see if I can make a gummy with it.
Oh, I love when you say a mother liquor. It's one of my favorites. You guys are always talking about mother liquors.
For those of you at home who don't know, the mother liquor is where everything kind of ends up after you do a hemp or whatever kind of extraction process you're doing. But you can pull THC out of that mother
Is that what
liquor. You can pull other minors out of there that can be converted into something that will get you high.
Where everything ends up, huh, Jenny? In the mother liquor.
In the mother liquor.
I bet.
So,
Jesse.
I mean, like, listen, it was really cool, and we've done a lot of cool things. I think that hemp is an amazing opportunity for a lot of things, right? Hempcrete's fucking phenomenal. We did a lot of really cool shit with UCAN back in Colorado with hemp, right? So a lot of, tinctures, things like that were made, CBD, CBN, whatever, that came out of our mother liquor. We did a conversion process. There were a lot of really cool things that could happen, but I don't think that it's the answer to circumvent licensing. I do appreciate the option for patient access. Hello, patient access, not your 15-year-old go to the smoke shop and get high on Tuesday night, right? In places that do not have access. But as we're pushing that out, like, I don't think that there's, a really good reason why I should go to Bevmo and get myself some intoxicating hemp beverages. That should be something that is a little bit, that there's a reason. That's why we can't sell liquor without a liquor license, right? If we want to be regulated like alcohol, then be regulated like fucking alcohol. Go get the license and stop trying to jump through hoops to circumvent what these everybody's fucking worked for, because then why have we been rallying? Why have we been petitioning? Why have we been advocating for licensed cannabis if we're just going to go around it? And so
I see you nodding your head there, Jordan. What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think in general, it's good to have more access to folks. It's good to have cheaper product. Like, I support all of that, but I agree with Jenny Beth. Like, we just got to do it the right way. It's completely unfair to all these folks who have done it the right way, have put, tens of millions into cultivation facilities, into lobbying efforts, into getting their products tested just to get circumvented by stuff that you have really no idea what you're smoking, right? I mean, you're talking about Delta 8 earlier, like, you just, a lot of that stuff.
We call it weed light
garbage.
In California. We call it weed light out here, Delta 8. I mean,
we call it bullshit.
Jesse, go ahead, Russ.
No, I was just saying, I think I can see the passion that you guys have for it, especially from California or Colorado, and the markets that y'all have worked hard and paid heavy prices to get, the regulation going. And but like for states like Texas, it's the only thing we have, and that's why we try to fight for that.
Wait, you have 3 stores open? You have 3 stores in Texas, Russ?
3 stores with 1% THC, all 3 of them. So pretty bad. But I like I said before, I have a client or 2 in Ohio, and I know that they're on the beverage side, and so that's a big part of what that state decides to do with their hemp regulation affects a client of mine, and so we'll see what happens.
I mean, yeah, and as far as like Texas only having Delta 8 or THCA, that fucking COA might say THCA, but you and I both know with our beautiful God-given brains that weed probably came from California and will get you higher than dog shit. You know it.
That's why I say it's all THCA. That's my legal defense. I'm sticking to it. You know what I mean?
Well, to your point, I mean, a lot of the THCA flower that comes in, we can't grow it in Texas. It's all imported from California or Ohio,
or Oklahoma,
2 or 3, or Oklahoma as well. In fact, a lot of it comes from Oklahoma. But I have several clients that run advertising in our magazine that are from California, and they are excited about marketing their California THCA flower into the Texas market, and so. We see a lot of that.
What do you got to say about that, Jess? Oh, go ahead.
Wish it was THC flower, Jason, but it's fucking not, because I know a lot of people that are selling it. And I listen, access is access is access. Get your weed. I'm not mad. I would be on the show. I would have been in this industry for my entire fucking adult life if I didn't feel like patients should have access, right? So state to state, Colorado, California, cool. I'm everywhere. International, cool. But let's call it what it is, because we keep playing around with these cutesy little terms. I understand. I don't want anybody to get arrested either. But we know good and damn well that is just weed.
I'm surprised all those growers up there in Humboldt, Jesse, haven't came out with THCA lines. Humboldt's THCA finest. Just saying.
I would imagine that many of them are.
Those COAs, Jason, back.
I love a good COA, you know what I mean? And Leah Patrick in the X chat, she says 1% isn't enough, and I totally agree with that, Miss Leah Patrick. I'm totally with you on that. Man, shout out to everyone joining us, watching us in today. Do you have any final remarks you'd like to say on this, Jordan?
No, I mean, I think we covered the highlights there. You know, it's just about having a level playing field, having a consistent tax regime so that everyone's playing by the same rules.
Interesting perspectives, you guys. And make sure that y'all go and check out Parody Gummy at www.parodygummy.com and secure your bag today of Delta 9, America's new #1 D9 gummy line, where you can get some, you can want to be a bad hombre, pineapple flavored gummy, or if you need to go to sleep because you just had too much, you can get a Sleepy Joe's. And of course, if you feel like turning up, you can always turn to Trump and go with the Raspberry Riots, complete with the J6ers in photo, free and clear. That's right.